guys, it's Miss Glasson again. I'm going to read you another book. It is called Ralph Tells a Story by Abby Hanlon. Ralph tells a story. Let's see what happens. My teacher always said, stories are everywhere. You see a teacher dancing around? And the kids in my class were always finding them. Then my mom ran so fast that she caught up with an ice cream truck. I ran down the hallway with underwear on my head. What? The dentist forgot to give me a toothbrush. Uh-oh. After that, I decided to hide my Halloween candy in my bed. Yay, stories, stories! But every day at writing time, I thought really hard. I stared at my paper. I stared at the ceiling. I could not write a story. Then Grandma gave me a cup of coffee and said, don't tell your mother. I think that's what grandmas are good for, right? Hey, my grandma was like that too. And then there's Ralph. I have no story. His brain is blank. He doesn't know what to say. I wonder what's going to happen. So I looked for other things to do. I went to the water fountain. Can I go to the bathroom again? I roamed the hallways. I tried everything. Can I go help the lunch ladies? And the teacher's going, what? And then she says, stories happen to those who tell them. Then one day, after getting sent back to my desk, I begged Daisy for help. I can't write a story because nothing happens to me. Are you kidding? She said. I've written a ton of stories about you. She began pulling her stories out of her desk. Look at this one, she said. Remember the time you let me brush your hair? And this one? Remember the time you knocked down all the crayons? Oh, and remember the time you painted your nails with black marker? Uh-oh, that's not a good idea. I thought I'd never be a great writer like Daisy. Then Daisy stapled all of her stories together. Click, click. Wow, she said. This book is already 13 pages. Click, click. Can I use the stapler, I asked. I was really good at stapling. But you have nothing to staple, said Daisy. You have to find a story first. Just look around. So I looked for stories out the window, in the aquarium, in the desk. And when my teacher wasn't looking, I looked for stories on the floor. He is silly. And then this little girl's like, why do you have socks in your desk? And he's like, he doesn't know. But still no stories. And then the teacher's talking to another student. That's my favorite part. And then his friend, oh, look, my next book. And he's laying on the floor with still no stories. Yeah. Lying under my desk reminded me of lying in the grass at the park. I closed my eyes and imagined I was at the park. Just like that time a little inchworm crawled on my knee. The sun was shining right between into my eyes. Squinting, I picked up the winkly inchworm and looked at it close up. And that's when my teacher found me. What's your story about? She asked. I opened my eyes. I saw an inchworm. Wonderful, she said. I can't read what you wrote, but there was no inchworm story. I sat down and I tried to write about the inchworm, but right away I got stuck. Do you know any inchworm stories? I asked Daisy. She just rolled her eyes and kept on writing. And then my teacher said, writers, come to the rug, time to share. Uh-oh, he doesn't have anything to write or written down. Ralph, why don't you go first, said the teacher. I pretended that I lost my paper. It didn't work. The little girl goes, "He's sitting on it." Ah. I walked to the front of the rug. It took a long time. I held my paper against my chest so no one could see it. I was at the park, I said. An inchworm crawled on my knee. It was quiet. My heart went thump, 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 thump. He's nervous. That's when I looked at Daisy. Wow, really? Did it feel squishy, Ralphie? Did you take it home? And then everyone started asking me questions. Did your mom let you keep it? Did you touch it? Was it a baby? Did you name it? Did it tickle? Was it a girl? Wait a minute, I thought. Something did happen with that inchworm. Well, I picked up the inchworm and decided to name him Nick. I built Nick a house, but he just inched away. So I followed him, which is why I didn't notice that someone was following me. And then all of a sudden, this wobbly, crazy baby grabbed Nick and put him in his diaper. Ew. I tried to be calm. Come on, baby, I said really nicely. Give Ralphie the inchworm. It didn't work. Was this the end of Nick? But then I noticed Nick was escaping. He crawled right up that baby's stomach. Quickly, I rescued Nick and ran. And we spent the rest of the afternoon doing nothing together. The end. Everyone clapped and cheered. Show the picture, Ralph, someone said. Wonderful, hooray, yay, Ralph. He showed the picture. How cute. I wasn't embarrassed anymore, so I did. That was last year. This year, I write stories all the time. I keep finding stories everywhere. This book might be too thick to staple. 100 Funny Stories by Ralph. 100? That's a lot. And here are some writing tips from Ralph if you ever want to write a story or think of one. 1. Get comfortable. 2. It's okay to ask for help, like if you have a friend like Daisy. 3. You can always write about what you had for breakfast. And on his sheet it says, Pizza in the Morning by Ralph. Have you guys ever had pizza in the morning? I have. And 4, eat lots of chocolate. Okay? So you have your writing tips from Ralph now. And then all of his books that he's done since then. Wow. Are you guys going to be writing stories one day like Ralph does? That would be awesome. All right. Here's my story I wrote to you. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you guys have a great day, okay? All right. Bye.